So since then, we've followed up with a second study that was also funded by Grace and Jockey Club, and this is still ongoing. The idea was, well, if dust is really an important trigger for asthma, how can we mitigate that? How can we decrease exposure to dust? And there are several ways you can do that, but what we tested is what is the effect of steaming the hay? So you essentially, there's a device that's available, kind of a big suitcase. You stick the hay bale in there, and it cooks for about an hour, if you will, steams it, and then you can feed it to horses. And then the other way to decrease dust is by using a different type of hay called haylage. It's a bit like, think of it as silage for cows, but haylage essentially hay that's harvested the way you would, harvest normal hay, but you bale it sooner, so it's got a higher water content, moisture content. But everybody knows that if you have more water in the hay, it might mold. So the important step there is to harvest it and place it in a sealed plastic bag, a bit like those bags of shavings, if you will. And that way it will preserve the quality of the grass, And so we knew from prior study that typically haylage has less dust. And also prior studies have shown that typically steam hay has less dust. What we didn't know from prior study, what is the effect on horses with mild asthma? So that's what we set out to do in this new study at the racetrack, again in the thoroughbreds, and working with trainers that were very supportive of, because of our prior studies, they allowed us to enroll their own horses into this clinical trial. So essentially, horses were selected at random and to receive, to be fed their regular hay for 6 weeks, or to be fed steam hay for 6 weeks, or haylage for 6 weeks, okay? And we did measurement, before at baseline, then 3 weeks down the road, and then at the end of that 6-week period. And we presented some of the results, after 1 year, and then we're analyzing now the results after the second year. But what we published already as a research abstract showed that indeed we did see a decrease in dust exposure with both the steam hay and the haylage. It was greater with the haylage at that time. And then also there was some benefit on airway health from a BL cytology standpoint. So that's very exciting to us. We are working actively to finish the paper right now and submit it, and so hopefully this will be out very soon.